Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors want to become the team their rivals fear again. And at the end of the season, they will make changes to the roster and sign new players to support Stephen Curry. A great player from the Utah Jazz is the ideal name to lead the Warriors to try to win another championship. Rumors: Warriors want to sign John Collins. Fortunately for Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors appeased him by acquiring former Miami Heat stud Jimmy Butler before the February 6 trade deadline. The Dubs have played exceptionally well with Butler in the Bay. The franchise has won 11 of its last 13 games and appears poised for a competitive playoff run. However, the Warriors' frontcourt leaves much to be desired, possibly compelling Steve Kerr's club to target an impactful forward or center this summer. In an intriguing offseason move, Golden State could swap Buddy Hield, a 39.7% career three-point shooter, for a surging Utah Jazz forward. John Collins, who started his career with the Atlanta Hawks before getting traded to the Jazz in 2023, is enjoying another productive campaign with Utah. The Jazz aren't playoff contenders this year, but Collins has wisely treated every contest like a meaningful NBA audition, considering he would like to join a contending franchise while still in his prime. As an explosive vertical athlete who's worked toward improving his consistency from beyond the arc, the Wake Forest product has been a bright spot for the unsatisfactory 15-50 Jazz. Collins averages 18.9 points and 8.2 rebounds per game, shooting 52.4% from the field and 40% from long range in 39 contests. Conversely, Hield experienced an up-and-down 2024-25 campaign during his first season with the Curry-led Warriors. Hield put the NBA on notice to start the year, but his three-point shooting efficiency hasn't been superb since the start of December. Although the Oklahoma product still shoots a respectable 36.7% from downtown in year 9, his erratic play could force Golden State to part ways with him before the 2025-26 season begins. Time will tell if the Warriors send Hield and several additional assets to the Jazz this summer for a talented frontcourt veteran in Collins. Buddy Hield makes feelings clear after Warriors trade. The Golden State Warriors have looked like a brand new team since acquiring Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat, boasting a 12-2 record since his acquisition, and could end up escaping the play-in tournament with a top 6 seed. Furthermore, the team still hasn't gotten to full health and could get even better after Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski are back. While the Warriors are definitely thankful for what Butler has done for them so far, there's no doubt that Andrew Wiggins was loved by the organization. A key part in the Warriors' recent title, Golden State guard Buddy Hield made his feelings clear about the trade in a radio appearance. "When guys were traded, it was a rough day for Warriors coach Steve Kerr," Hield said Wednesday on 95.7 The Game's Steiny and Guru. "Especially with Wiggs, it was emotional in that locker room. I was even more emotional because I wish it was me that got traded because Wiggs did so much for this franchise. For a guy like that, I hated to see him go like that because he's done so much for this franchise." A bold statement to say he'd rather be traded, it just shows how well liked Wiggins was in the organization. Wiggins joined the Warriors via trade from the Minnesota Timberwolves and embraced a new role in Golden State as he no longer needed to be a 20-plus point per game scorer. The Warriors will see Wiggins later this season on March 25 when Golden State travels to face the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler having a blast playing for Warriors. "The organization is great, the guys are great, winning is great." NBA star Jimmy Butler is having a blast playing for the Golden State Warriors. Butler, who requested a trade from the Miami Heat, has helped the Warriors go from a play-in team to a legitimate title contender. "I saw a group that wanted me to be a part of it," Butler told NBA reporter Mark J. Spears of Anscape. "That's all you ever wanted to be is wanted in this life, not just in this league. In anything, you want to be wanted. Needed is like a necessity. Wanted is like somebody's choosing to bring you aboard this. I think that's the ultimate sign of respect. I talked to both Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, but I've talked to both of them for a while. But they said, we can do something special. We need what you bring. The winning mentality, the hard nose on both sides of the ball. I think that's what you want. That's what they told me that I bring. The Warriors are 37-28 on the season. They are in 6th place in the Western Conference standings. One of the best two-way players in the NBA, Butler is averaging 17.6 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.7 assists with the Warriors. I'm here now. The organization is great, the guys are great, winning is great, and we do any and everything that it takes to win here, Butler said. So that's what makes my mental so great. We're winning again. I love the spirit that surrounds. There's no talking about myself, which is great. Let me go drink my coffee, play my dominoes, and leave me alone. Golden State is 12-1 in games Butler has played. Curry, the greatest shooter in NBA history, has loved what he's seen from Butler. Super consistent, a professional, Curry said. There's been a lot of eyeballs with him all season and all that, but I love the way he's approached everything. Me and Draymond always talk about how we don't ask anybody to be anybody other than themselves, but we show up to play. Jimmy Butler is an improved version of title-winning Warriors legend. This comparison bodes well for the Warriors' title chances. Since acquiring star forward Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline, the Golden State Warriors have posted a 12-2 record and are rising out of the mediocrity that had previously defined much of their season. Now sitting as the 6th seed in the Western Conference, Butler has brought both his trademark defensive intensity and offensive explosiveness to the Warriors, opening up the team's offense through his ability to drive to the rim and draw contact. Through his 13 games with Golden State, Butler is averaging 17.6 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.7 assists in 31.8 minutes. While some have doubted the 35-year-old's commitment level and maturity throughout his career, it has become clear that his heart is with the Warriors this season and that he will be an X-factor for a potential playoff run. Jimmy Butler draws comparison to Warriors legend Andre Iguodala. On the All-NBA podcast, Mark Campbell of Low Man Help remarked upon the similarity of Butler and Iguodala's impact upon the Warriors, saying, "They were missing this little element to their formula that unlocks everything. If Andre Iguodala is the original, then Jimmy Butler is the remix." Iguodala, who won 4 championships with Golden State and won Finals MVP in 2015, is an honorable comparison for Butler. Across 7 seasons with the Warriors, Iguodala averaged 8.8 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. Throughout his career, he provided exceptional defense and consistent offense, showing an ability to switch consistently onto every player on the court and routinely limit their effectiveness. Iguodala meshed well with Warriors star Stephen Curry because of his ability to both cover for him on defense and respond to his impact on offense, cutting to the rim and providing passing lanes when Curry drew the defense toward himself. In many ways, Butler provides these same factors to this Warriors team, helping to make Curry more comfortable and return to some of the strategies and movements that have found great success in the past. However, he also provides an additional strength under the hoop and at the rim that Iguodala did not possess, especially as he got older. In fact, Butler has taken 34.3% of his shots this season at the rim, posting an efficient field goal percentage of 73.4% at that range. Butler is so often able to seal his defender, even if that player is much larger than him, in order to receive a pass from the ball handler and toss up a layup, often drawing contact and getting to the free throw line in the process. Since Butler arrived in Golden State, the team is averaging 25.2 free throw attempts per game, the third most in the NBA during that span. If Butler is able to provide the same juice and intensity that Iguodala gave to previous Warriors teams, his extra offensive punch could help bring the team across the finish line yet again. Steph Curry aiming for LeBron James' longevity while aiming for NBA titles. Steph Curry is 36 years old and might be staring at the possibility of his stellar NBA career winding down. But the way the Golden State Warriors are playing, fans and the media have seen the rejuvenated star tearing the league on his own. A lot of that resurgence has to do with their trade for Jimmy Butler. Curry had mentioned it that they are polar opposite as players, seemingly suggesting they would have to figure out how to make this work. But their results proved otherwise. Draymond Green had mentioned that Butler's intelligence is what is helping the team turn the tide. Gone are the days when it seemed as if the Warriors were going to miss out on a play-in spot. Since February, they are 13-4. More importantly, they are 12-2 since Butler arrived. In that time span, Steph Curry seems to have gained a step, and his overall enthusiasm is a far cry from the disappointed look he sported earlier in the season. When asked how long he believes he can continue playing at the highest level, Curry said, "I know my contract is lined up and I'd like to outplay that, for sure." Steph Curry said. His recently extended contract has him tied to the Golden State Warriors until the end of the 2026-27 season. He will be 38 years old by then. But if he sticks to his words and wants to outplay his contract, this means he is gunning to go for LeBron James' longevity. Steph Curry aiming for title number 5. He might not match LeBron James' 22 seasons in the league. But he knows that with Luka Doncic's arrival, James' championship window has widened. The 40-year-old could retire from the Los Angeles Lakers with 5 NBA titles under his belt. Steph Curry knows that he will not be able to match his Paris Olympics teammates' statistical accolades. But he can match in terms of NBA title wins. If the Lakers do not win one, the Warriors superstar is in pole position to usurp his fellow Akron native. Somebody asked me this summer, "What are you still playing for?" Number 5, that's literally the only thing you're playing for. I like where we're at right now. I think we have what it takes to do it. Steph Curry said. The father of 4 did slam the brakes on expectations. He does not consider the Warriors a championship-level team right now. They have another level to move up to become solid contenders. But they are building up to it. Warriors are playing a different brand of basketball. Over the last decade, the Golden State Warriors have played one style of basketball. Constant switching and movements across the globe have routinely left Steph Curry and others free to score. But over the past 2 seasons, that style has vanished. The primary reason was that the team were not playmaking enough for their leading superstar and others to flourish at a championship contending level. With the arrival of Jimmy Butler, that has changed. Although, it is not what they were used to for a decade. With the former Miami Heat guard in the lineup, he is forcing opposing teams to focus on him. Now opponents are split on who to double team. This has not only helped their 2 primary superstars shine, but their role players are also being able to contribute. In that November to January stretch, role players such as Buddy Hield struggled. Now, he and others are flourishing. The team's floor spacing has improved massively. Most importantly, their leading stars are not being forced to win a game or play excessive minutes.